Okay, good afternoon. I started with saying that I'll have 15 minutes, then it came down to 10, I've left with 5. Okay, that's how life is. Good. Good afternoon, gentlemen. My name is Krishna and I lead infrastructure services for IBM from an India perspective. Now, what I'm going to quickly run through, can I have the deck, please? Okay, while the deck comes up, I was in an AFCOB annual general body meeting in which one of the eminent person came up to me and he said, and I was talking to him on technology and what all we are doing in the phases of technology to improve the banking. He comes back and tells me one simple thing. He tells me that the beauty of technology is only relished when it is kept simple. A cell phone, for example, is used to talk. So as long as I don't have to find out a hassle to find out what goes at the back end in terms of enabling the voice to travel from one device to other device, and I just use the device for talking, I'm happy. Now with that as the baseline, I'm going to present to you a simple solution, simple again from a user perspective. Backend is quite complex, so I will not take you through the complexities of what goes in the backend. This is a simple solution on how disaster recovery can be seen from a very simple perspective. With no further ado, let me just quickly run you through in terms of, just to bring everybody on the common page, what disaster recovery is. And in a very simple parlance, basically if you have got your primary which is set up, on which you're running your core banking, if something happens to the primary, how fast and how quickly can you recover that incident by bringing up an alternative setup? That alternative setup is called a DR, which is a disaster recovery site. Now how to do it, what processes, what tools to be done is a very complex thing again, right? So what I've thought is that let me probably tell you a story. This story of mine has a protagonist who is the CIO, and with RBI giving more and more importance towards having a DR for your core banking, this CIO gets excited. He goes talks to 10 different technology vendors who are going to give him multiple solutions. He does all his research and comes back to the board. This gentleman comes up to the board and says, hey board, I've done a lot of homework. I'm going to set up a world-class DR. I'm going to set up a DR in which I'm going to use world-class technology, I'm going to use world-class resources, processes, tools, blah, 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 blah. 15 minutes the conversation goes on. Finally, the board member asks one simple question. Okay, now that we understand what DR is and how critical it is for us, tell me in one line, what are you committing if we approve this investment? Now, the CIO is in a fix because he wasn't prepared for this, right? No technology, nothing. What is that one single line commitment? But the CIO being CIO, he came out smarter. He just went and committed the very crux of a DR, which is, he says that, dear board, you approve the investment, I commit to you that in case of a disaster, I will bring the DR site up in X amount of time and with Y amount of data loss. Simple, that's what my commitment is. The board says, good, go ahead, come back with us with the options as to how you're going to achieve this. While the CIO has made the commitment, there is a complete paradigm shift because now he's not thinking on technology. He's thinking on how do he go and live up to the commitment what he has made to the board. Now, while he's doing that, he suddenly realizes that it is not just one vendor, one solution or one technology partner that he's going to work in the solution, and suddenly realizes that there are multiple SLAs which are probably being given by each of the solution vendors, right? And then he realizes that he probably will have to keep juggling between these various SLAs or what commitments the various solution providers are giving him to ensure that he reaches to the commitment what he made. Now, his entire paradigm gets shifted to one single thing. That's one single objective is that with what certainty and with what accuracy can I live up to the commitment that I will bring up the DR in X amount of time with Y amount of data loss. The entire paradigm changes for him. He's now going to concentrate only on what is the certainty and what is the accuracy with which I'll bring this up. While he's doing it, now he starts thinking about what are the options he has got. Well, let's look at the options. Option one, he says, let me build the DR site all by myself. Okay, I'm going to buy best-in-class servers, storage devices, networking devices. I'll build a world-class data center for myself. I'm going to invest in various replication tools, I'm going to put all the things across. But now the issue starts is that when he goes to a server partner, he says that my uptime is 97%. He goes to a storage partner, he says my uptime is probably 98%. Data center has got multiple components. Each of the vendor, UPS says 94%. There's one more gentleman comes, he says some other number. Now what he realizes is that by setting this entire thing up, he's getting multiple SLAs from different vendors. Now, the ball doesn't stop there. Once he's built it, he realizes that he will have to invest in resources to constantly do something called as a DR drill. Now what is a DR drill? DR drill is simple. We cannot wait for the disaster to happen to see whether the solution that I have implemented is going to work. So on a regular basis, we need to keep checking as to whether my DR is going to work or not. So for that, you would again require people over there. What you would also require is that you would require a person to constantly monitor and manage all the IT infrastructure that you have set it up. In a nutshell, we're talking about setting up an entire team with the process and with the tools. Now, what does this probably boil down to the CIO? What it boils down is that he's going to invest a very high capex. Added to that, he's going to juggle between, say for example, 7 different SLAs to meet to his one single objective, which is with what certainty and with what accuracy can I say that if the primary is down, I can bring the DR up. Now this is scenario 1. Let's look at what is the option 2 he has got. Option 2, he says, let me do one thing. I will go outsource few of the activities to some other vendor, right? So he says, okay, now let me probably go, I'll not build my data center, I'll go host it somewhere. I will probably not monitor, manage all the things by myself. I will go give it to someone else. Now, when they do it again, he again realizes that it is not that it's as simple as what it appears, because each of these guys again give a different SLAs, right? Now, what it boils down net to the CIO again is that in option 2, he's going to invest medium capex because he's not keeping all his money in building up something. He's going to share it with someone else, right? So he's going to go on a medium capex, but his problem would still remain is that he has to juggle with 4 different SLAs to achieve to his single most biggest objective, which he has committed to the board, which is, am I today certain and accurate in terms of predicting what I committed to the board? That I will bring up the DR in X amount of time, and I will bring up the DR with Y amount of data loss. Is he certain? Is he accurate? Option 2. So option 1, high capex, 7 SLAs to manage, meet one objective. Option 2, he's got medium capex, he has 4 different SLAs to manage to meet to one objective. Let's look at option 3. Okay, let's just hold on before we go to the option 3, is because he just known the most complex problems of our life can easily be related to something which is very simple in our life. Okay, now CIO also follows the same philosophy, and he probably looks at a real-time scenario in which actual disaster recovery, what we're talking from an IT perspective, can it be generalized in any other parlance? Now he realizes a small story which happened with a couple of his friends. So this gentleman, the first gentleman tells to his friend that very proudly, I have invested $35,000 in buying a car. I've invested $20,000 in setting up a storeroom in which I'm going to put all my spares, so that if the car by any chance meets with an accident, it's easy for me to fix it. Also, I have invested with a labor contracting company where mechanics are there. I'll pay them 5K per annum, in which whenever there's a problem, they will come, take the spares from the store, and they're going to fix it. The other guy is perplexed. The other friend is as perplexed as you're looking at the slide. He says, why do you want to do all this? Pay $35, take an insurance premium. Pay the premium. If your car meets with an accident, go claim an insurance. Now, the things that we need to probably quickly look at, and the critical questions that we need to ponder is that, are we so different in a generic scenario which I gave it to an IT scenario? Can't these two things be similar? Secondly, the second question to ponder in this case would be that, why do you think a DR needs to be looked at in a completely different perspective? It's basically that if my primary is down, this has to come up. It is exactly in line with what insurance does to you, right? Third, even further after investing all the money that you're going to put it up, setting up a store with mechanics and all, are you still certain, are you still accurate in terms of bringing the car up or fixing the car up? right? So ladies and gentlemen, I present to you IBM's simple solution, virtual server recovery. This is a solution in which backend is tedious, which is not visible to you. All we are committing to you is that only one simple thing is this comes at a very low capex. You have only one SLA to manage, which I am committing, which I say is that if there is a disaster, I will bring your DR up in X amount of time and with Y amount of data loss. This is typically called in industry parlance as RTO and RPO, recovery time objective, recovery point objective. So I'm committing exactly what is required there with no strings attached. So I'm just done. So what it enables the CIO is that he's certain about what he's going to get as a solution because he has got only one vendor to manage and only one solution to look forward to. By the way, this commitment is not coming from any mean organization. We are more than 100-year-old organization with $100 billion plus of turnover. Now, with that, on a legal binding contract, I'm going to put it across as to what my deliverables are. And these are a few of the standard examples where we have got a lot of innovation awards for this solution, and also few of the cooperative banks have already adopted us. So looking forward for you in the interaction session that we can have a detailed discussion on technology, because I did not want to talk about technology. I'm saying is that what exactly you want is what we exactly deliver, and there is no strings attached to it. So looking forward to talking to you more in the interaction session, and thank you for giving me this simple opportunity. Thank you.